Oh, you know what? It wasn't that long ago I was making this announcement. Our colleague and friend who has been at the helm of CHFI's morning show for some time made an announcement just a few minutes ago that she is retiring.
It is on a serious note, but a very heartfelt one, that I say goodbye to our listeners at CHFI and to my wonderful family here. And of course to BT viewers, everyone who has been so good to both Rob, my husband, and to me, especially over the last 18 months since we lost our daughter. And we just came to the realization that everybody has had a chance to move on with their lives. And we thought we would try to. So we're moving west. I'm still going to be part of CHFI, and you'll probably still see me here and there, and I'll keep writing my journal. But it's not goodbye. It's a change of address, as I said, and a thank you card, 28 years in the writing. So thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, she is back. She said she would be back. Well, she is back, and I'm thrilled that she is. Erin Davis joins me from her home out in North Saanich. Is it Saanich? Is that how you say that?
Yes, it is. It's home of Meghan and Harry, as a matter of fact.
And what an absolutely beautiful view that you have, too, out there, overlooking the ocean, overlooking parts of Victoria.
Yep, definitely. We're looking directly at the United States, so if it goes up, we'll see it first, Kevin.
Well, I'm thrilled you could join me. I can think of fewer people that I know that that have a more positive and uplifting message and motivational than Erin Davis.
Well, thank you, Kevin, and you too. God knows that no matter what's going on in our lives on any given day, people didn't want to wake up to, tragedy. And unfortunately, of course, that was part of our story for a long while. But, to be able to put all of that aside and make sure that people get up in a good mood is it's kind of a neat calling. And it was a real honor to be able to do it.
Most definitely, and you're missed, but I'm sure that you are keeping so busy. I want to remind people, of course, they can go to erindavis.com anytime they want, and follow her on Twitter at Erin Davis. So I want your thoughts now, Erin, about we've been in isolation. You've been in isolation for a little bit longer, I think, but we've been in isolation. What are your thoughts?
Well, it is strange. And yeah, we were in isolation longer because Rob and I have a place down in Palm Springs, California. And when we could see what was coming, I decided to self-isolate because I had a bit of a chest cold, and I just didn't want people to worry that they were getting something from me, because that's kind of our mantra is don't behave like you've got the virus, behave like I do. So what I did was I self-isolated for a week and a half, and then as soon as we saw the Oval Office announcement, that's it. I said to Rob, we got to get out of here. So we got on the phone for 45 minutes plus an hour and a half, because we were disconnected the first time, to try and get our seats home for 2 adults and a little dog. So yeah, it's been normal for us, but I have to say that self-isolation is kind of a normal thing for me anyway. I do all my work from home now, and I have very few friends here on the island, on Vancouver Island. Except, when Harry and Meghan, it's like, oh my God, they're at the door again. Just give them something. Tell them, we'll be by sometime. But this is my normal way of life. The only thing that's panicking me is not being able to have groceries when I need groceries. And thank goodness for friends who have made this possible.
And we're seeing some differences too between what's happening here and what's happening out west. I know that the folks out in Vancouver and Victoria are much more outdoorsy, shall we say, and they love being outdoors. In fact, for you, Erin, I've worn my I've worn my Vancouver suit coat, as you can see.
Yes, there you go. But it's the Canadian tuxedo.
Well, I grew up in North Bay. This is a North Bay tuxedo.
Nice. Yeah, well, we were out walking Molly very carefully because she has to go, and neither of us are sick, and very carefully, as I say. And there were no fewer than probably 4 couples walking by, and joggers and runners. I mean, when it rains here, the kids are still outside at recess because it's BC, it's the great outdoors, and rain ain't going to melt you. So here, as you can see, we are having a spectacular day. At some point, tell me when I want to take you outside because we have deer in the backyard.
Oh, okay. Well, take us outside now. Take us outside now. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Just what we need.
Okay. All right. Don't mind the house. It's probably a bit of a mess, but I'm coming out onto the deck. And it's a gorgeous day here. Oh, there he is down there. Oh, he's pooping. Okay, can you
That's
see
lovely.
him down there?
Hold on, it's not focusing yet. Oh,
Okay.
you get the blur feature on the Skype, and I don't think it's going to focus for you.
No, because we've got two in the other yard here. Oh, there they are. They're just sleeping. No, there's three. Can you see that? No. Oh, there he goes. He's walking by.
I can
Hello,
I can
baby.
see a bit of movement. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Oh, darn. Okay. Well, I promised you, and they delivered.
Well, I have another shot here. I mean, I'll show the one that you shot for me a short time ago. So, I mean, it is an absolutely gorgeous view. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, Erin, what we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to bring people some encouraging news and some uplifting news. And now we have to mention, of course, your book, because you are a motivational speaker, you are a speaker, and your book, Morning Has Broken, a bestseller. It's about love, loss, and reclaiming joy, and it followed, of course, the tragic death of your daughter, Lauren.
Mm-hmm. And what a journey that has taken us on. It really wasn't something that I had planned to write, but I was on City TV on Tracy Moore's show City Line the day of my final broadcast at CHFI. And the senior publisher and editor at HarperCollins Canada was in the audience that day. And she said, I think you've got a book in you. And so we moved like 2 days after the final show at CHFI and found ourselves here in a new place, knowing basically no one except my aunt and uncle. And then I had a whole year to sit and write and rewrite and edit and all those things to get that book out there. And I've been so blessed and so grateful for the way that it's been received. And it's now in soft cover, and it's really been an incredible journey. It really has. And even just talking about it, even writing about it, people asked me if it was cathartic, and it was not, because it was a lot of stuff I didn't want to go back and ask Rob about, things I couldn't remember, things that, your mind can do wonderful things for you as well as harmful things. And a lot of that had been blocked out in the passing of our daughter. So it wasn't cathartic. It was very painful, but the aftermath of it, finding people who come to me and say, finally, somebody understands, or someone is writing a book that they explains and shares my experience, and the good, the bad, and the ugly, the things that people say when they mean well, and all of the aspects of going through grief and climbing out the other side, because you don't get over it, you get through it, as you know, with most situations in life, right?
Right. And yesterday too, our thoughts and our heart goes out to you. Yesterday was it was a special day.
Yeah. Lauren would have been 29 yesterday, so forever 24. And, we couldn't go out. Now, this is what's so amazing about how people are coming together at this time, okay? We couldn't go out because, we're in self-isolation. We walk Molly, we go home, end of story. But there's a bench down in Sydney, which is just down that way, a little beautiful town, Sydney by the Sea. When people are traveling, come and see it. It's absolutely wonderful. And we commissioned a bench in memory of Lauren with a little plaque on it, "A Mother's Rest, Dream a Little Dream of Me." And we couldn't go, but my friend Nancy, she chose and bought this beautiful little bouquet, and it was modeled after Lauren's wedding bouquet. And I just couldn't believe she went to that trouble, flowers to begin with, and then to look like the bouquet, the colors and everything. And she put it there on the bench, took pictures for me, and then we were sent the flowers afterwards. So it's just the little things that mean so much to people who are in isolation right now, Kevin. It really is.
I'm just going to interrupt you for a moment. Your microphone, you keep brushing against it or something. Where's your microphone? Just because I keep hearing
I don't know. I don't know. That's so weird.
There's something
It's somewhere on my computer, and I'm not touching. You know what it is, Kevin? I bet there's. You know what?
There.
There's a mic on this.
That's it. That's what. Okay.
Hello.
So, oh wow. You see, there's that CHFI voice. I wish I could sound like Mike Cooper. You know what? I cannot. So great. Okay.
Okay.
That is a lot better. That's a lot better.
I'm so sorry.
No, not at all.
Very sorry.
All right. So
my
here.
tech guy is in the shower or something. I don't know where he is.
Now, you have the great fortune of having that incredible view to help you get through things. There's a lot of people who don't have great views. They're stuck at home. Some people home alone. You know, you've got Rob who's with you, thank goodness. But a lot of people are stuck home alone. What would you say to them right now?
Well, you know what? You are never truly alone as long as you can reach out to someone. And that is absolutely the best part of social media. I mean, I get to FaceTime with our grandson and his baby sister and their parents in Ottawa every week. And I got to tell you, this week I keep thinking, oh, is it only Wednesday? I want to talk to the coconut and have our FaceTime with him.
The what?
And the coconut.
All right. Coconut. That's what I thought you said. Okay.
His mom was Peanut or Peanutty, and he was Coco, Colin, so Coco, Coconut. I mean, come on, follow along.
I am.
And Rob and I are Grandma and Granddad Banana. So
okay.
when the bananas are on the phone. I know.
You know, a lot of people are saying it's so nice to hear us again, because I think you and I were both the voices of the morning for so many years. But I don't know about you, but I can tell you, I sometimes miss it, but I do not miss getting up that early.
That is exactly right. And I've been having this crazy thought like, oh, I want to go back to radio. I miss radio. And you probably miss it right now more than anything, because our job was always to be that connection. And the closest situation I can liken it to was in the days after 9/11. But we were muted. We were shut down because the station had just started a ridiculous idea called the All Music Hour, where we just played music for an hour. And it's like, people have CDs. They need to know traffic. They need to know news. They want to feel like there's someone with them in the car. And so the day after 9/11, our boss at the time said, well, you know, everything that's been said about it is, you know, has already been said. And it's like, oh, my God, people need to feel connected during uncertain times. Yeah. And that's, Kevin, that's what I miss the most, and why I'm so grateful for this today, for my journal, for emails and Instagram, Erin Davis, and Twitter, because we're staying together and I'm hearing other people's stories. So that's my message to the people who are alone. You don't have to be alone. And it takes strength to be vulnerable. It's been the hardest thing for Rob and me, has been asking our friends, saying, oh, you know what, we're out of milk, or we're out of the silly things like popping corn. Like, okay, that's silly, but we really want popcorn. So your friends will be the ones who understand and leave a bag at the door, and you can leave an envelope with some cash or pay them later. You know, don't be afraid to ask. These are the times when you find out who is really there for you, right?
Darn right. And there's a lot of people there who you don't even know who are there for people now.
Isn't it wonderful? It really is.
Okay, let's say hi to some people, because Christine says, I'm home alone. George says, I am home alone, not good, suffering depression. And George, I've told you, I know George is a regular here. I would really like you to graduate to saying you live with depression rather than suffer from it. I want you to deal with it head on. So you live with it. Do not be defined by depression. And I know that's easier said than done somehow. So let's. I want to say hi to those folks as well. What's your thought about dealing with? Obviously, you had to have gone through some depression after Lauren's passing, and you had some demons to deal with as well.
I absolutely did, Kevin. And hi, George. You're not alone in your depression either. I mean, many of us suffer with different mental illnesses. And for the longest time, I felt like a hypocrite for taking antidepressants when I was doing the morning show. And people thought, oh, she's so cheerful. And really, my nature is cheerful. I wake up in the morning and I'm singing, I'm happy. But that doesn't mean that you're singing and happy all the time. When you're in your happy place, and those 4 hours were heaven for the most part, that's great. And then the rest of the world kind of comes in on you. So don't be ashamed to be seeing a psychotherapist or a professional, or talking to someone, or reading the right books, or to be taking medication. I mean, we often hear this, and you can't say it enough, and I know that you will agree, Kevin. If you were diabetic, you would take insulin, right? So why on earth wouldn't you take something to help you to deal with mental illness, with whether it's anxiety or depression or whatever? I'm reading a lot in my feeds these days, and I'm sure you are too, Kevin, of people who are very anxious. And Rob had to talk me down the other night. I was just starting to get like, when are we going to get groceries? How are we going to get food? I don't want to leave the house.
I don't want to go through that quickly. I want you to, if you could, I want to talk about that. All right. So it doesn't matter how motivational you are. It doesn't matter how optimistic you are. And I can speak from personal experience. There are times that you get hit with that, oh my God, and it's wonderful to have someone there to talk you down. So tell me what that was like, how it hit you.
Well, you know what? I'm my own worst enemy in a lot of ways, Kevin, because I go online and I read Twitter, and I read the Washington Post, and then I read the comments. And a lot of them are just beautifully, acerbically wonderful. I mean, I've always said the New York Times, most of the people who comment on the articles are as erudite as any writer for any newspaper out there. And I love the information. I love the perspective. But the problem with it is that, hello, who was that?
Who was what? Oh,
who was what?
No one at home could see that, but you could, because you can see my Skype feed. That's my roadie. That was Parker. That's my son.
That's so cute.
Yeah, because you're getting the direct Skype feed. But yes, you're lucky that way. You paid extra.
Thank you. Yes. So I dive into this, and then I'll say to Rob, "Oh my God, do you know what Trump said?" Or, "Oh my God, he's telling people to take this," or, "He's lying, he's doing this, he's doing that," and I just get angrier and angrier and angrier. And I read the comments. People are aiming at our own prime minister, and the virulent negativity from people who, Trudeau could cure cancer tomorrow and it wouldn't matter to people who just hate him because of his name. Believe me, I was raised Albertan. I know the Trudeau thing out there. It's in the water.
It's in your DNA, yes.
It is.
And this is
hard
not
to be reasonable.
And this is not the time. Now, I hate to use Trump as an example because he is the exception. But right now, I really do feel the leaders are trying their best. But right now, we all need to come together. And I think we need to forget that we hate our leaders kind of thing for a little while. That we need to get together as well and be a part of this and part of the solution. There'll be time later. When this is over, all right, now we can start yelling, oh, you should have done something sooner. You weren't doing enough. But right now, we really need to come together.
I can't give Trump a pass, and I never will, because he knew he did nothing. He lied. He continues to lie. And if he does something good, great. But right now he's talking about bringing everybody back to church on Easter Sunday because it's pretty transparent for a man who hasn't divested himself of any of his investments or his properties. He just wants to get his properties open again. So I'm sorry. I should be bigger than that, and I'm not going to be. But you are right. You are right. So my challenge to myself is to at least limit the poisonous stream that I am allowing into my mind, because it's just it's not doing me any good. So we started going online to look for groceries, and we go to store after store after store, and all of their delivery dates are full for weeks, right? And it's like, I don't want to ask our friends to bring us rice, and I don't want to ask for this and that. So I start to panic because of my own the barriers that
sometimes.
There's that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden. I want to be a helper, and that's always, I think, the role I've liked to think I've had. So this is hard, and it's hard to ask for help, but we all just have to kind of say, okay, I'm going to do this for you, and I'm going to ask this of you, and please know that I'll do it for you too. It
Yeah.
makes us step outside ourselves in so many ways.
Even helpers need help. So I mean, we can look to our
God, yes.
our medical staff, our police, fire, EMS. They need help as well. They are
Oh,
out
God,
there every
yes.
day and helping. So don't ever be afraid to ask for help. Anyone. Joyce, my husband is very ill, ALS, trying hard not to be depressed, not able to get much help right now, totally understand. So yeah, Joyce, sending strength your way. There are people who are living with people who have ailments and ALS or cancer, things like that. And it's got to be doubly hard for these people.
I can't imagine. And, we're hearing of people who can't go visit their loved ones in intensive care or in palliative care or any of the myriad ways that we have to be cared for when we're ill or aged. My heart just completely goes out to you, the loneliness and the desperation of being not just on the other side of the glass, but on the other side of the street. And it's heartbreaking. It really is. My own dad is in a retirement residence in Kelowna. It's called Sandalwood. We call it Socks and Sandalwood.
You have a name for everything.
Oh yeah, it's a dress code. But he's doing really well, and he checks in with me every couple of days. He'll be 87 in June, and he and his girlfriend are they're not sleeping together. He made that very clear. They're doing the best they can. They're social distancing at dinner. They've changed the protocol for mealtime and all of that, and he's just staying as positive as he can because that's how he rolls. But it's not easy, especially when your support system is on support. It's just grueling. I'm so sorry for her.
Okay, for Faye, and I would encourage people. I'm watching all the comments come along, and people are seeing them as well.
I could.
Yeah, I should have shown you how. I'm still new at this. Okay, so there must be a way for you to see some of the comments. Maybe I don't know if Rob has a time to open up my Facebook page on another computer for you. Maybe you might be able to see it. But Faye, and I encourage anybody who's seeing these comments, please feel free to comment as well to people. So, for instance, everyone should be giving encouragement to Faye, who's watching us right now. Faye says, I'm alone now. My husband passed away 14 months ago. It's very lonely at this time during this pandemic, but I must stay strong. We are in this together, Faye. That's a great attitude, but you know what? You need some encouragement and support too. So I would encourage everybody who's typing right now, say hi to Faye. Send her
Faye.
Some encouragement. Say something.
Does she have an E on the end? How does she spell
She has
Faye?
an E on the end.
Okay.
Yes, she does. So say hi to
Faye.
Faye. Let me see. I only watch the news in the morning and at 6. Good for you. And I've been encouraging people. Watch the news maybe once, twice a day. Get updated. Stay up to date. Watch reputable sources. All right.
Yes.
And then I need
Fox.
Fox. Well, you know what? And I'm sorry. I'm going to have to now put CNN into that group of channels I would encourage people not to watch, because it is 24/7 Trump, 24/7 this, 24/7. They've lost sight. So I've been encouraging people. BBC, CBC is doing, I think, a pretty good job as well.
Yes.
Susan says, I only watch the news in the morning and at 6. Rest of the time I'm listening to music, doing a jigsaw puzzle, throw myself into a book with a good cup of tea. Erin, what do you do to stay sane?
You mean get sane, Kevin? I never was. Can we back that one up a bit? Well, what I'm doing while I'm here is, Rob and I are so fortunate. We are so busy right now. We've got the first episode of a podcast for the Canadian Real Estate Association to bed, and it's coming out, I think, tomorrow. But it's with Terry O'Reilly, who is from CBC, Under the Influence. He's a marketing genius. And I'm telling you, this guy is so funny and so informative. And so I'm listening to a lot of podcasts, Terry entirely, and Malcolm Gladwell, big thinkers, who are not talking about the coronavirus. We audition. I do auditions, about 15 a day. I subscribe to different services so that I can be the voice on the TV commercial or on your voicemail and stuff. So I'm auditioning all the time. I learned how to edit my own auditions, so I learned a new skill, and I'm loving it. I'm writing a daily journal, also to keep me thinking of other people instead of focusing on myself. I'm reading. I started a new book last night, not writing it, reading it, that somebody gave me last year called Dreaming the Beatles. And it's a different kind of an idea of who the Beatles are. I'm not cooking, which is for the betterment of all humankind. I'm not cleaning yet because it's not necessary, but we will be. And basically, I had a great idea. Here's something that people could do. Back when my husband and I came back from the trip of a lifetime to Egypt in about 2004, I did something I hadn't done before and I haven't done since, and I wish I had. I took my photos and I subscribed online to a company called Shutterfly. And that's not a plug, it's just what I use. Yeah. And so I made a hardcover book with parchment-like pages with our photos and explanations of what they were. How many pictures do you have in your camera, or not in your camera, in your phone or your computer, from trips or family gatherings or Christmases that you could actually put in order and say who that person in the back was before they're a distant memory?
But Erin, the problem is we don't have time and we have to go to work.
Right.
We have to shop. Oh,
Right.
wait a minute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Memory books, because these are the times. I've got shoe boxes full of pictures from days when I was with a band back in the 1990s and early O's. And I've always thought, I'll put those in a book. No, this is the time. And I might even write a little picture book for Colin. And it's just Shutterfly. It's not going to be anything I expect anybody else to see. But, what a wonderful gift to your kids or your grandkids or your parents.
Do you have that book? Do you have that book close by, perchance?
Just a minute. Robbie! He's down the hall. He knows where it is. It's in the basement. Robert! My husband's hard of hearing because he wants to be. You just heard that. Yeah. He can't hear me.
Poor
That's
Rob.
okay. It's in the basement. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But it's a wonderful thing. Just 1 sec. I'm going to mute this mic.
Okay, go ahead.
Robert! Robert!
She's yelling
You heard
right
that,
now.
didn't you?
She's yelling. You can't mute that.
No, I can't. If he could mute this, he would. Let me tell you that. Oh, geez.
I want to, while we're waiting for Robert and the book, I love what people are saying. And in fact, I would love to hear some people saying right now, what are you doing that you didn't have time for before? So Carmen says, I've been trying new recipes that I've been meaning to do, plus doing some spring cleaning, catching up with my family in Malta, Europe, on WhatsApp. And a lot of people have been getting in touch. What are some of the other things that people are doing? Let me know right here. What are you doing that you normally would not have done before? I mean, for me, this show is what I work on this for several hours a day now, and it's given me purpose. It's given me something to do. So it is. Everyone's loving your selective hearing comment, by the way. Mary says,
Robbie, could you get the Egypt book, please? Okay, he's here now. He's getting it. Anyway, sorry.
Here's Mary says, I use some morning time to post positive posts, a silly picture usually of me, use essential oils, do yoga, and connect with friends. It helps me stay immensely happy and calm and anxiety-free. I'm blessed to be helping my, I believe that sister is a new mummy. That's from Florence. I've also been baking, says Lynn.
Flo's in Buffalo.
Yes, there's a lot of people here who are regulars of yours and regulars of mine.
There will be that Venn diagram will cross over undoubtedly.
Finally getting to
and
my...
I told Carolyn, I told Tea Queen I'm using her mug today too. So
yes,
she gave me
I
that
love
to
Tea
going away
Queen.
present.
I love Tea Queen.
She's awesome.
Packing and decluttering for our move in April. Well, you have a lot of time for that. My husband and I are playing great games of backgammon, which we haven't played for 20 years, says Janet.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Because we used to call it Twister.
A lot of biking. And yes, I encourage people. I went out today. I went to High Park. It's kind of unusual, isn't it, though? I was in High Park, and you walk towards someone, and they sort of go like this off to one side. You go off to the other side. You almost would take offense to it at any other time, but right now, that's what we're doing.
What's funny, though, is that everybody seems like they have to go, hey, so social distancing. It's like, I'm not being rude. I'm doing this thing, but isn't it cool? We're all in it together. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. We're talking with more neighbors from a distance than we ever have. I don't know there's always something good that comes out of something awful. Sometimes you have to break apart to grow stronger. And there's a saying about the Japanese have a word for a teacup that they glue back together with gold, because it's in those cracks that the true value is. And I think that we can do that, and without sounding too Pollyanna-ish, because it's a terrifying time. We all fear losing people. I'm not afraid of getting sick. I'm not afraid of dying, because it means I get to be with my daughter. That's my take on it. I just don't want to see anybody else suffer. Is that too dark?
I don't think it's too dark. But I think that when you say that we're scared, we're all scared. So if we know that Erin Davis can be scared, if we know Erin Davis can be worried and anxious, then hopefully that'll help somebody.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who wouldn't be. And maybe those are the people who are still getting together and having parties and sending their kids to playgrounds and being, this can't affect me. I saw footage today in Brazil, Kevin, of cops in helicopters hovering over beaches so that the people on the beaches were in a sandstorm. Where were they in Florida the last couple of weeks?
Most definitely.
I don't want to sound like Judge Janine, but where were they?
Diana says, between 1:30 and 3:30 during the day, I set up chairs more than 6 feet away outside for lonely and bored neighbors so we can chat and connect. It's not a bad idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so good. Good for her. I hope it's good. Nobody has said it isn't.
No,
I think you can, right?
you can't. You just, you know what? It's just use some common sense. Erin, your backdrop is beautiful. What a view that you have. And that is from Lori. And we were talking earlier about how having that view does help the time pass a little bit better.
Yeah, it sure does. I'm going to try and give you a little bit more there. It's absolutely, oops, I moved myself off camera. I'm just not good at this, Kevin. I'm from radio. Honestly.
And now we want to of course remind people that, because someone was saying thank you very much for all of that you're still doing your journals on your website erindavis.com.
Yeah, I cut it back to twice a week when I came out of rehab last year, and I'm wondering what in hell are people doing in rehab now? It must be just awful. But anyway, we can talk about that because I have no secrets. And I just pulled back because I had to be a little kinder to myself.
Yeah.
And then when this kicked in, I thought, nope, I'm going to write every day. Like, that might feel like overkill, a little bit thirsty, But no, the response to it has been just absolutely fantastic. And I'm glad to have a place to be able to, say what's going on, say what I'm thinking, share what other people are thinking, more importantly, and to just, be something steady, as steady as I ever am, in unsteady times.
Karen says that she's thinking about putting my outside Christmas lights on again at night just to cheer up the neighborhood. Wouldn't that be a great idea if we why not put the Christmas lights up? Put some decorations out.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that, but I never would, because I'm too afraid of the neighbors who would think I never took them down. But that's just my paranoia. Oh, look at her. It's March and her lights are up. But,
my lights are up, but my lights aren't on. So there we go.
Right.
I'm trying to keep up with all these comments. It's just absolutely wonderful. And I know that I've got a few people here that must be regulars of yours. There's Janet. Yes, love the journals. Read every single one. And I've seen that comment come by quite a few times. Love from me to you from Buffalo, Debbie.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. People are calling us voices of reason and wisdom. Does that mean we're old?
Oh, God. No, it means that the times are really effed up.
You can swear here, Erin. You can say frigged up, but it's okay.
No, okay. No.
What are you doing? Colin wants Grandma Banana to say hi. That's from Brooke.
Oh my goodness, Rob! I have to get the banana phone. Could you please get me the banana phone? Hurry! Colin's watching.
I don't.
Hi, baby banana.
Oh my gosh! Should I have done this?
Okay,
Should I have mentioned this?
Oh my gosh! Yes, the light and the low. Just a second, Kevin. I have to take a call.
Okay.
Hello, Colin. Hi, it's Grandma, and I'm on the computer with Kevin. This is my friend Kevin. He has the same name as your grandpa. Now, you know what'll really make Colin's day is if Rob comes into the shot.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to heaven, we were on TV. I was on TV. They panned the audience. Colin's watching me. They show Rob on camera, and he goes, "Granddad, I know him." It's like Elf. It was just like Will Ferrell in Elf. "I know him. He's a boy." And
Where's Rob? We'll bring Rob in.
Okay, Rob, he didn't do his hair today, but come on in over the chair here, Rob. Rob, Colin would like to see you.
Where's my hairdresser?
Now the problem is you've got the blur feature on your Skype, so he's got to move a little bit closer to your face.
Okay. I'm sorry.
There, that's better.
I didn't know the blur feature.
That's okay.
So say hi to. Okay, close your mouth.
Hi, Blurry.
Say hi to Colin.
Hi, Colin.
It's Granddad Banana.
Hello, grandson.
All right.
Everyone's
Hi,
going
baby.
crazy. Everyone's going crazy about Colin. Laura's. And Cindy and Karen. Now, the banana phone, I think you might be doing a little copyright infringement there. Because do you not remember Ernie and Bert talking on the banana? Oh,
No, I don't. But
look that up on
you see,
YouTube.
I was confused. I thought it was Apple that was litigious. Okay, so I'm going to hang up the banana phone. But Colin, I'll talk to you on Sunday. Okay, give baby Jane a kiss for me and say hi to mommy and daddy. Okay, I love you. All right, but I'm still here. Okay.
Right.
Oh, that makes my day. I love that kid so much. Oh my God. And we were planning on seeing the family in May, and of course, it looks like we're not going to be going because I don't know if you can believe it, but I'm not being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year after all. I mean, that is of course, the biggest tragedy of all right now. Not in case anybody doesn't get my sense of humor, but I'll just try to stay out of jail till they get around to it in September.
I love it. All right, so and again, I'm having a hard time sort of keeping up with all of this here. So pardon me right now as I go off to the side because everyone is going crazy about the banana phone. I have no idea why, but everyone is going crazy about the banana phone. In fact, Mary so much that Mary says I have goosebumps.
I love him.
So I've seen you talk, and when people come up to you and they thank you for words that you have to say. So if you were giving a talk right now and you're up there on the podium and you're talking to people, how would you sort of address being in isolation, having these fears of anxiety, worries about money, worries about getting sick, worries about loved ones? How would you kind of start that out, Erin?
Well, my keynote address, which I call not my TED Talk because it isn't one, but it's my ED Talk, as in my initials, ED. Not erectile dysfunction. I'm far more uplifting.
I'm glad you clarified.
Thank you. Thank you. Basically, what the crux of my speech is, it's not all about what happened to us. It is when your world cracks wide open and there's a huge chasm and your life is delineated between how it was and what it is now. That line, that divide, how are you going to go on? And that's really the germ of what my speech is now, and I love to give it to business groups, people in grief. All it's a message that can be translated and massaged for any kind of a group. But I read, and I'm so glad that I read it after I wrote mine, or I know I would have inadvertently stolen from it, like George Harrison and She's So Fine. Is Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. And it is a small book, and someone gave it to me shortly after Lauren died, I think. And I didn't get around to it. And thank goodness I finally did, because it's all about, there's so much wisdom in this little tiny book. He was, in the 1940s, a very young man who was a psychiatrist, and he was interned in the concentration camps, in Nazi Germany or Poland. I haven't read the book in a bit. I have to go back. But he was there. People around him were suffering and dying. But what he noticed was that people were still able to laugh. They were still able to have hope. They were still able to survive, the ones who were fortunate enough to do so. So his book, when he got out, he took all the extrapolations from that experience and turned it into this most amazing bit of wisdom. And the line in it that resonates with me most clearly, and I think it applies to everybody right now, is abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation equals normal behavior. Okay? Think about it.
It's almost like a double negative means a
You're-
positive, right?
It is. It is, exactly. Because right now, none of this is normal. And how we are reacting, that's not normal.
Exactly.
Right?
I guess we're thinking, okay, I guess I'm reacting badly to this. No, you're not. This is normal how you're reacting. If you're anxious and you're fearful and you're scared, that's normal. It's what you need to do is, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do for yourself?
Right. And it's I don't know, I guess I'm overly sensitive to it, but the memes about drinking and, is the liquor store an essential service? And, how I'm going to get through this, and wine o'clock and time to drink, or noon drinking, or morning drinking. Yeah, I have an allergy to alcohol. That's why I went into rehab, is I just decided I had to be done with it. But all of these people and all of their memes and they're joking about drinking. How much of it is not joking, and how much damage are you doing to yourself in trying to, this isn't the world's longest spring break. You're going to have consequences for this when you get out of it. Try to be present. Be there for your children. Be there for the children that some of us would kill. Well, not kill, let's rephrase. Some of us so want to have with us. And I read these, parenting is hard. Everybody gets a Purple Heart when they get out of this. I'm sorry, you shouldn't have reproduced. Nobody bought in. Nobody said, okay, I'm going to be parenting 24/7. Let's see how this goes. But this is when you grow up and parent up and take on the responsibilities that you have been blessed with. I'm sorry, I get a little preachy.
No, that's what we've come to know and love about Erin Davis. Is we're looking to you for advice.
Oh, Kevin, I wouldn't have the jam to say that on the air, because a lot of people joke about it, and I get that they're joking, and you can get frustrated. I saw the funniest cartoon, or not cartoon today, but just a quick GIF of a guy who is sitting on the couch, and he hears his kid coming, and he holds up this Bristol board that is a picture of the couch and a cushion, so he looks like he's not on the couch. And it was hilarious. And I get that. I haven't lost my sense of humor, and God forbid any of us loses our sense of humor. But it's just like, this is a gift to you. And also, now you know what it's like to homeschool.
Yeah.
These are the children that you send off to school every day and then bitch about their teachers. So it's time for everybody to have a little bit of a reality check. Did I say too much?
No, not at all. Not at all. I always try and tell people that your stress, your anxiety, a lot of it comes from trying to control what you can't control.
Right.
So what can you control? You can control your reaction. You can control how you keep yourself busy. You can control some things, but if you can't control it, take it, think about it quickly, and then just say, okay, I can't control you. You're over there. I can't worry about you.
A little thing called the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the wisdom, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I'm telling you, I have always loved that bit of wisdom, and it sees me through everything. God grant me the serenity, and all you have to do is just look that up. It's called the Serenity Prayer, and it's just, can I change this? You're so right, Kevin. Can I change it? Will worrying about it help me or help the situation? If not, if it will, change it. If it won't, try. I know it's easier said than done, because I worry too. We all worry.
Now we're you know what, you and I are both great at giving advice, but we both realize it is easier sometimes said than done. And
Yes.
It is difficult, especially if someone already has depression.
Yes.
It is difficult to get out of bed, and the advice is just get out of bed. Sometimes
that's
you need
stupid.
sometimes you need someone to kick your ass, but at the same time you need someone to understand how difficult it can be. And I know there are a lot of people out there that life can be very, very difficult, and this is just compounding that.
Oh, yeah.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, telling a depressed person to pull up their socks and get up and get out there is like telling someone on a broken leg, oh, get up and walk around. It'll work. No, it isn't possible. But I think maybe people will learn some compassion out of this, Kevin, as they walk the
No
mile in
kidding,
those other
right?
shoes. Yeah.
Maybe. Are we
Yeah.
going to be better for this at the end? Are we going to learn our lesson? I think after the Depression, a lot of our grandmothers and grandfathers said to us, "Oh, I learned so much out of that. I think people were better after that, helping each other, neighbor helping neighbor." Will we be better for this afterwards? Are we going to go back to our same narcissistic selves, all by ourselves? I hope not.
I don't know. I mean, Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian are still fighting, so there are some things that will never change.
I love this, and I'm going to steal it, Patricia. I always tell everyone, if you can't change the action, then change your reaction. That is
Yes.
so good. So what can you control? And here's Lynn saying, we are learning from this. I hope we will be better. I really, really do hope so, that we're checking in on neighbors, that we are going to help each other. So
We're meeting neighbors.
yes.
So many of us, like I said, on our walks, our very brief and distant walks, we're making eye contact with people who otherwise would just be kind of on their way. There's a connection.
This just
What do
in.
you got?
Yes.
Yes.
From Parker handed it to me, and it's his thought as well. You can't control anything. The only thing you can control is how you react. Oh, sorry. What was that, Parker? I didn't read you writing. Okay, you can't control anything. The only thing you can control is how you react. I thought it said what you read. You can control, by the way, folks, what you're reading, what you're listening to, how you're getting your news, how much about COVID-19 you're ingesting in a day.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
control that. And I advise everyone, turn off your social media for a while during the day. Don't keep soaking in all the COVID information. There is so much misinformation out there, and it's hard to sift through it. So get credible information and then get away from it for the day. You don't need to have 24/7 input on COVID.
Yeah, it's true, and I can feel my anxiety rising. It's almost like a self-imposed hot flash. That anxiety, that panic, that that sense of being out of control, and yet, if you put the phone down or close the computer, not now, you are back in your space. You're looking at your spouse or your cat or your safe space in here. And I got to tell you that humor has been such a godsend in all of this. I love the memes and GIFs that are out there for the most part. I got one this morning, Kevin, I have to share with you and everybody. And it's this guy who said, I promised my wife, I said, throw a dart. I held up a map. I said, throw a dart. When all this ends, we're going to go wherever you want. So it looks like we're spending 3 weeks behind the fridge.
And he's probably just as happy with that, right?
Oh, God.
And that is, you have to, if you can go through this with a sense of humor, most definitely that most definitely does help. I mean, we could do with Erin Davis back on the air in the morning, and that would definitely help with some sense of humor. Karen says, we are checking in on my 95-year-old mother-in-law via FaceTime, so she knows we are still thinking about her. She's in Bronte Creek, and we are in Barrie. And FaceTime and Skype, if you don't know how to use it, find someone who can help you or get some instructions, because it definitely does make a difference.
Yeah, I tried that with my dad. This is a guy who flew 707s and L-1011s, and yet when I try and FaceTime him, I'm just counting the hairs in his ear. So it's not working. But we do have our chat.
This is an interesting point from Lynn. How much of what everyone is feeling right now is actually grief? Grief that life as we know it suddenly ceases to exist. Grief that life we know may not be coming back again anytime soon. We've all lost something here, a feeling of safety and security when doing everyday things like standing at a bus stop or going to the grocery store or sitting in a movie theater. Yes. We've suffered a bit of a loss here.
Yeah, we really have. And grief and loss, there can be deaths in all kinds of things. And I talk about this in my speech because, losing your job, which you know about. By the way, Jordan Schwartz says hi, and we're doing a great job. That's nice, Jordan's
Jordan.
The boss at City. I just saw a tweet from him. But to lose your job, or now many people are really, really afraid. They can't make the rent, they can't make the mortgage payment. And again, it looks like the government is going to try and help people. There are a lot who are going to fall through the cracks. And this is where we have to come through with our help, our compassion. There are all kinds of GoFundMes in Toronto. Rob sent me a list of them today. Did you find that on cdc.ca, Rob, or where did you get the GoFundMe list? On GoFundMe, just on GoFundMe. That's a big ask for people when they are unsure about their own futures. But my hairdresser had kind of a neat idea too that someone suggested. Make a donation or book an appointment and pay it in advance for a hair treatment or whatever. You're going to have to go one day when we get out of here. Buy gift certificates for restaurants if you can. The restaurant owners are hurting so badly. Yeah. These people that are there for us all the time. And it's just heartbreaking. But he's right. It is a grief because nothing is normal. Nothing is taken for granted. A lot of people are missing their people, their community, their churches, their AA meetings, where they gather, their work friends. It's hard, especially those who are alone. How long have we been talking here, Kevin? Oh my goodness.
5 minutes, 10 minutes? Oh no, it's been 50 minutes.
This is why they have commercials, right? They're keeping talking.
This is it's absolutely wonderful to speak with you and to reach out and to know that we're not alone, and it doesn't matter that you're thousands of miles away. Here we are together in the same screen. It's very nice to know that.
Thank you. Rob did bring me that Egypt book.
Yes, I want to see that. Where is that?
I don't know where he put it. Oh my God, it's so hard getting him to help, and I have to sleep with him.
Right?
Geez. Anyway, I'm sorry, I can't find it.
No, okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I want to thank you for this time so much. It has been great to get in touch with you. You sent me a meme, by the way, or a great thing. It said something about we're about to discover what everyone's real hair color is.
Oh my God, yes. Do you want me to tell you what my Paula? It's so true. We're 3 or 4 weeks away from finding out, Roots, the sequel. And Paula, who is so fantastic, she's my hairstylist, and I asked her for the 10 commandments for being at home and coloring your hair, and I'm just going to find it here. Do you have any more comments you want to read?
I will while you're doing that. Sure.
Go ahead. Here it is.
Someone saying same time, same place next week, guys, please. I don't know.
I don't know.
Will you join me? Will you join me again in the coming days?
Oh, I'd love to. What else have I got to do? Yeah. Rob and I are just going to, eventually. You know what? I also read about a possible baby boom after all of this.
Yeah, I was kind of calculating to like December maybe that there's going to be a lot of babies, or a little mini baby boom.
And divorces, because you know what? Now you're finding out if you married your best friend.
Yeah, not only that, but now when you're taking on all these renovation ideas, you're finding out that maybe people should not wallpaper together.
Right? Oh my God, that was one of the only fights. Rob and I, you can count on one hand how many fights we've had, and I swear to God, one of them was wallpapering and bordering. So we stopped that. But I talked to a woman, Sandy, in Ottawa, and she works in a paint store, or she did last week. It was open. She said they have never been busier. People are feathering the nest. They're primping their places as though they're selling, but instead they're enjoying their surroundings for a change. Just make sure that thing you're sick of looking at over in the corner isn't what you married. Okay. Okay, so here are Paula Scocella from 11 Salon in Yorkville, who I used to see in Toronto. Here are her 10 commandments. Don't use the box. We have no idea what's in the box. Well, Paula knows that I use box root rescue to keep going between appointments.
That's not your natural color, Erin?
I'm sorry, we broke up. Stay away from the scissors, then you won't be tempted. Can I tell you, the day of Trump's inauguration, I was trimming my own bangs, and I was hate trimming, and it was the worst thing I ever did. And just in December, I was in California, and I saw Rob's beard trimmer, and I was really kind of tired of my bangs. So I was trimming my bangs. I missed my eyebrows by that much. What an idiot. Anyway, okay. Scarves, hats, accessories will hide your roots. They're only going get worse. Okay, don't bang yourself or anyone you are quarantined with. We're all going to end up looking like the haircuts we got from our moms with the Tupperware. Try some new products while you're at home. If you love your stylist, buy some gift cards. If you're bored, this is a good one, try a new blow dry technique. You can wash it out later if you hate it. I'm going to go Bieber. I don't know about you. The old Bieber, when he had hair. Leave your partner's hair alone. Isn't that great? Leave your partner's hair alone. But I always trim his neck. That's part of our deal. Don't cut layers at home. You have no idea what you're doing. And finally, if you wear extensions, low pony, low braid until you can see your specialist. Now, I know a lot of that was in a foreign language to you, Kevin.
It was, yeah.
Me,
yeah.
My girls know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, most definitely. And that's, I guess, if this goes on much longer, will I have to cut my own hair? I don't know. It's not too bad right now. Luckily, I got a haircut just before. By the way, I go to the Terminal Barbershop, which is the oldest barbershop in Canada. I love it. Or in Toronto, I should say, right at Bay and Dundas.
The Terminal Barbershop.
Yeah, I know it doesn't sound great, does it? Now that I think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just a little concerned if I do. And folks, I keep looking off to the side because I'm doing all my own switching and things like that. So that's why I keep looking off to the side like that.
You are a one-man show.
I
How
am.
about these guys like Seth Meyers and Stephen
Yeah.
Colbert and all those guys doing their stuff from home? Good for you. But I want to tell you, in 1991, I did my half of the morning show with Don Daynard from home with a crying baby in my arms.
I
And
remember.
it was revolutionary. It made the national news. And I have to tell you that there was one woman who said when Lauren would cry, she would lactate. So that is the power of connection. I'm
No
not kidding.
All right. Well, you know what?
Kevin, thank you.
I think this has been absolutely fantastic. It's so nice. We've talked from time to time, but it's so nice to see you at the same time. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for all your words of encouragement. Let's remind people as well that they can go to erindavis.com and get to where's the I have viz of your website. That's the viz of the website. There it is. Well, they can also get your book as well. Morning Has Broken, and apparently you were saying the Toronto Public Library now has it on its reading list.
Oh, yes, it's a staff pick on the reading list. What a treat, huh?
That is neat. That is great.
Very nice. And Indigo wants me to remind everybody that they are delivering books, that, that reading is the best thing you can do to keep your sanity and to explore new worlds. So I'm happy to do that for Heather and the good folks at Indigo.
All right. Florence is leaving us now on to changing diapers and making dinner, so maybe that's what we should be doing as well. Not suggesting you're going to be changing Rob's diapers anytime soon. But
No. But Florence, wash your hands, wash your hands,
That's
wash your
right.
hands.
Erin, thank you for this. Erin, by the way, I just think, and I think I speak on behalf of so many people out there, so many of your fans, that you've been a rock. You got punched in the jaw and knocked on the floor a couple of times. And each time you've gotten right back up. And not only have you gotten back up, but you've taken the strength you found and you share that strength. And I think it's wonderful. I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored to know you and call you a friend. So thank you for this.
Thank you, Kevin. And you'll email me and let me know where people can see this if they missed it.
If they missed it, they can go to, of course, my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Kevin Frankish channel. And I'll tweet that out as well.
Thank you.
All right, Erin.
Is that Parker? Do I
that was Parker. Yes, okay. Parker was back. Here, Parker, come in.
Thank you,
come
Kevin.
into the background. Hold on.
And thank you, everyone, for taking time to spend an hour with us today. It made my day, that's for sure. And it's not like there's hockey or basketball. Hi, Parker.
All right, Erin. Thank you very much. I'll let you get back to that horrible, horrible view outside.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Erin Davis talking to me from her home in North Saanich, which is just north of Victoria, British Columbia. And a reminder as well, if you want to get in touch with me, firstaidforyourmentalhealth@gmail.com. Firstaidforyourmentalhealth@gmail.com. And if you want to watch some of the old episodes of this or former episodes, you want to see this one again or you want to share it, youtube.com/Kevin Frankish channel. If you're on the YouTube channel, you're watching this, I encourage you to subscribe and to hit the like button and the notification button as well, because it does help out. And I want to thank you very much for all this time that you have spent with us. And I'm here every night at 7 o'clock. Erin will join me again, I hope, in the days to come. Coming up tomorrow, by the way, here on the show, we're going to be talking to my friend Dr. Kati Kamkar. She's a psychiatrist. So you know what? Have your questions ready tomorrow. What do you want to ask the psychiatrist during times like this? What do you want to say, or what do you want to find out? Let's save ourselves $200 an hour and get that advice for free. Then Monday, I'm going to be talking to a sleep expert. How to sleep when you're anxious. How to sleep when you have anxiety. You need to get a good sleep. You need to eat properly and get a good sleep. That is going to help you. So I remind you as well, look out for each other. Help each other. I saw someone saying, thanks for making this a bit of normalcy to the day. I need you to find normal parts of your day. Make some parts of your day normal. We are self-isolating for a good reason. We are doing this not only to help ourselves, but to help others. People are losing their lives. People are losing loved ones. We don't want that. And so that's why we're self-isolating. So you are doing a good thing. What you are doing is worthwhile. I know it can be tough, especially to you folks who are alone. Perhaps you're home with someone that you're not seeing eye to eye with. I know it's tough. I need you to find some strength. Look for that strength. Seek that strength. If you look for it, you will find it. The trick is looking for it. We talked earlier about trying to get out of bed sometimes, and I know it can be difficult. You have to be your own mental health advocate. You have to say, I have to get out of bed. And I would encourage you in the morning to make your bed and have your shower and do everything you would do normally on a day. I know sometimes it's like, well, it's not worth having a shower today or doing anything with my hair. And you know it is. It is for yourself. So thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll be thinking about you.